Hello everyone, my name is Angel and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about everything you need to know to conquer corporate. It is my 1 year anniversary in my first full-time corporate job. I honestly can't believe it. I didn't think I was gonna get this far. I really thought my content creation was going to take off a lot quicker and I wouldn't have to have done this, but I want to give you guys a little insight and share with you everything that I have learned in this experience in corporate. My first piece of advice is to learn as much as you can as fast as you can. When you're starting a new role, especially my recent grads, my young professionals, there's a lot of pressure on us from an internal perspective to perform. Why did they trust me to do this? I'm just a 23-year-old teenager. That's kind of where I'm coming from when I say learn as much as you can as fast as you can, because it'll make you feel like you're not what is the phrase that we're using nowadays? You don't want to feel like you have imposter syndrome. Learn everything you can about your industry. This will help you so much when networking and when you're telling people about you and your role. You need to know what your company does on a large, generic scale basis. Not just what you do for the company, but what the company's main objectives are. You're gonna want to learn as much as you can about your organization, your coworkers, and your responsibilities. Once you know the dynamics in corporate, once you know who's really running the show, you want to identify who has the biggest connections, the most friends, the biggest pull. When this person says something, everybody listens. Those are the kind of people you want to be able to identify, and those are the people you want to get in with from day one. You don't want to get associated with those people early on who are slackers, who people don't really respect. You don't want to be one of those people. And unfortunately, if you associate yourself with that person, they will think you are that person. So next thing, this is kind of a survivor moment, but make your alliances. The girls that get it basically is all I have to say about that. Identify the people in your network that have the biggest influence and make them like you. Now, I'm not saying be a pick-me, but you want these people to be on your side. And the way that you can do that is by building your credibility and by showing them that you know what you're talking about. This is when your thoughts, those actions, those brainstorming meetings come to fruition. This is how you get people to like you. Another thing, this is something that I do, and I encourage everybody to do this. You want to be approachable, likable, and effective. Those are like the 3 B's of corporate, okay? You want to be approachable, you want to be kind. Whenever I go into the office, whenever I start a Zoom meeting, it's good morning everybody, hello, how are you? You want to be friendly. For my introverts, fake it till you make it, okay? I'm the CEO of faking it till I make it in corporate. And it's honestly a balance between coming off kind of fake and ungenuine versus just being a radiant light and an energy that lets people kind of gravitate towards you. You want to be able to influence people who are not in your direct line of control. I don't have people directly reporting to me, but they better listen to what I have to say. And that's the way that I present myself. So when I have conversations with people, being approachable, being likable, being, a great resource for them, I can convince them to do things for me versus where I don't have to go to their manager and ask them to do it. They want to do it for me because we built that relationship. Do you see what I'm saying? Relationship building is everything. Come with your A game all the time because you never know who you're going to meet. And in my job, you just never know. You never know who's in the building. You never know who's in the parking lot. So you want to be your best self all the time. The next thing that you're going to want to do is build credibility in your new role. As a young professional, you need to build credibility faster than anybody else who possibly is coming into your role. So I'm 23, and my job description basically has me telling people who have children my age what to do. So for me, the biggest thing for me to do, especially because I know I'm younger, I look younger, was to build credibility. With that being said, you want to secure early wins in your role. Find areas that can improve your company and streamline processes early on. Because even if you don't really know what you're doing in your role, which honestly, I feel like nobody really knows what they're doing. We're all just kind of winging it in corporate, which is why I love it here, because I feel seen, I feel heard. Secure as many wins as you can in the beginning. The next thing that my mentor told me in an internship previously was learn to speak up. Especially being a woman in my career field, especially being a young woman, sometimes I'm scared to speak up. Sometimes I'm scared that my ideas might have already been done in the corporate space. They might be overdone. There might be a reason that we don't do things that way. But you need to learn to speak up and to add value. You want to be an asset to your team. You want to be able to be like, wow, every time Angel comes to a meeting, she has the questions, she has the answers, she's always 3 steps ahead. That creates value to you. And unfortunately, with the times right now and layoffs, first one in, first one out. So the last person hired is usually the first person fired. You want to add credibility. You want them to know that you provide value. The next thing I want to put in bold letters into your brain is learn to ask questions, and more importantly than asking questions, learn where to find the answers. A lot of the roles and internships that I've had have prepared me for finding the answers myself, especially because I do a lot of regulatory work, so it's not that hard to find answers on Google for those things. If someone comes to you with a question that you don't know the answer to, learn to find the answer. I hate when I'm working with people and they don't know how to just go with the flow. They don't know how to figure things out. And you don't want to add that burden to your manager that anytime someone asks you a question, you're asking them a question. You need to learn the resources available within your role. Last thing I want to say on this topic is your goal is to make everyone's job easier. So whether you're like the personality hire and your job is just to make people laugh and get the job done, whether you are, the brains of the organization hire where they're looking for you for information, fill your role and let people know who you are, because you're that girl or guy or they or them, whatever you want to be. The biggest thing and the biggest benefit to you, especially as someone coming on board, especially if you're stepping into a position that is new, a position that's been empty for a long period of time, is to check and recheck your expectations. As time goes on, check in with your manager, be like, hey, these are the things I've been doing. Does this align with your goal and what I should be doing in this role? To kind of like add on to that, you also want to know what things that you can do in your role to support your team. You are coming on board to help your team, to alleviate some stress per se. And with that, you want to be like this knight in shining armor. You are there to help, you're educated, you know what you're doing, you're a great resource to your team. Now, Gen Z, millennials, this doesn't mean to go outside of your scope of work. This doesn't mean to do other people's jobs. All I'm saying is to do the most that you can to show your benefit to your team. This is going to help you later on when it comes to promotions and corporate restructurings. As we've seen in the last year, people are getting fired left and right. You don't want it to be you. With anything in life, and I hope I can teach this to you on my channel, stay drama-free, because you never know who's in other people's alliances, okay? You never know who Johnny is really friends with. He might be king with you, but he's really friends with that person you just talk shit about. And now it might get around that you're gossiping, and that's not the reputation that you want. Present yourself as your best always. Keep it classy, keep it corporate, take the drama home. And the last thing, and the most important thing that I encourage you to do, especially in corporate, stop being humble. This is the time to be a leader. This is the time to accept credit for your success. This isn't the time to be giving credit to Johnny and Susie and Mo. This is the time where if you do something, take accountability, be loud, and lead. Because Unfortunately, so many women get left behind because we're trying to give credit everywhere except for to ourselves, and that's where men kind of take us out, unfortunately. But there's a great book called Lean In that I will link in the description box below, that all my corporate women out there, I need you to read this book because it has taught me a lot, and maybe I'll make a video later on kind of going into some of the high points of that book, but that is all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and yet another one of my videos. I genuinely can't believe that I've been a corporate baddie for an entire year now. Like, who let me run their company for an entire year? I don't know, couldn't be me. But with that being said, I will see you guys next week with another video. As always, if you have the means, please donate to Make-A-Wish Foundation in honor of my late friend Nyla, and I will see you guys next Sunday with a new video. And I promise next Sunday, because I kind of ghosted y'all for the last 2 weeks, and I won't do that again. I might do it, but sorry, I don't know, life's a lot. Bye.